Hello, everyone. It's Sean, and I am officially back from my vacation. My wedding and honeymoon were great. Thank you guys so much for sticking around on the channel, and thank you to Ted for holding it down while I was gone. On today's episode, a new feature of the Cybercab is revealed, a boring update, someone is pissed at Elon Musk, and new 4680 opportunities arrive. The tire of the future is coming soon to Tesla vehicles. New reports show that the company is in talks with Michelin to test out the next generation of airless tire. Michelin is the world's largest tire manufacturer, and CEO Florent Menegaux confirms that the company has been discussing a revolutionary new tire technology for use on Tesla vehicles. This is called the Uptis, which is a terrible name that stands for Unique Puncture-Proof Tire System. The tire uses an open-cell design of composite material that is formed into a network of flexible spokes that bend and flex as required by road conditions and car weight, then has a rubber tread bonded to the outside. This allows the tire to naturally flex around small obstacles, making it far more flexible than a standard air-filled tire, and of course the biggest benefit is that they can't go flat. Michelin thinks that Uptis tires will last roughly 3 times longer than conventional tires, which is obviously great from a financial perspective, as long as they aren't 3 times more expensive, but also great for reducing waste because there will be fewer tires sent to landfills. Also, slower wearing tires means less microplastics in the environment that will eventually end up in your ball sack. So that's all really great news, but it gets even better. The Uptis tires are lighter and more aerodynamic than the conventional tires. This might seem counterintuitive because of the open cell design. We know that Tesla gets more range with wheel covers on, but initial testing on EVs from Michelin has been described as range positive. Michelin has already been testing the Uptis tires on the Chevy Bolt and has also opened talks with the GM for use on their EVs. So far, these tires are still all prototypes, so you can't buy these just yet, but they could hit the market as early as the end of this year. It's probably worth noting that these are far from the first airless tires that we've seen, but this particular design does seem to have some momentum to it. The Michelin CEO notes that the Uptis tires will be limited to certain types of applications at first. They won't be available in all sizes and tread types anytime soon, but if we were to imagine an ideal tire design for the upcoming Cybercab autonomous vehicle, this might be a good bet. Let's talk about curb rash. No one wants to admit that they did it. I used to tell people that my wife was driving when it happened, but then she found out I was saying that, so things had to change. And that's how today's sponsor, Rimcase, saved my marriage. Rimcase is like armor for your Tesla rims. Check this out. All you do is snap in the segments of your rim case directly over top of the wheel. They are perfectly matched to the color and shape of any stock Tesla rims with the Uber turbine or induction style, and after just a few minutes of work, you can barely even tell that anything has changed, but your wheels are protected. And now, it doesn't matter if you or your wife scuff up the rim case. The modular design allows you to hide your shame by simply removing and replacing only the damaged segments. Compared to expensive repair jobs on your aluminum wheels or divorce court, the rim case will continue to save you more money the longer you use it. So, save money and protect your Tesla by clicking the link in the description and use code TheTeslaSpace at checkout for 15% off your order. Thanks, Rimcase. The Boring Company is growing. The company recently posted a number of job openings for both their Las Vegas and Bastrop operations, but the most interesting of the bunch would be calls for production crew at the Bastrop testing facility. The Boring Company even posted on X that they are looking to hire world-class flux core welders and even hosted a kind of job fair at the manufacturing site on June 21st. So, that's cool, but they also dropped an Easter egg right at the end. Get a glimpse of Proofrock 4, and there's a photo of someone welding on a boring machine cutting head which might be from a Proofrock 4. It might not. I'm nowhere near qualified to say. But what's really interesting about this is the seemingly rapid pace of iteration that the Boring Company is going through with their machines. Proofrock 2 was barely used before we saw Proofrock 3 appear, and that machine has only dug 1 tunnel at Giga Texas and potentially 1 in Las Vegas, and they're already working on version 4. Now, it's tough to say exactly what the difference is between the boring machines. They all look the same to me, and aside from the porpoising ability that was introduced with Proofrock 2, we're not really seeing much in the way of performance gains. It still took the Prufrock 3 about 2 months to dig from one side of the highway to the other over at Giga Texas, so that's still pretty far off the company's stated short-term goal of digging 1 mile per week, and it's awfully far away from their medium-term goal of digging 7 miles per day. Now, in this job listing, the boring company noted that it is developing technologies that are aimed at increasing tunneling speed and decreasing tunneling costs by a factor of 10 or more, with the ultimate goal of making Hyperloop adoption viable and enabling rapid transit across densely populated regions. So, someone is pissed at Elon Musk, with this recent windshield wiper motor situation halting all Cybertruck deliveries and triggering a recall of the 11,000 Cybertrucks that are already out in the world. We've ended up with this unusual situation where Tesla is having to stash large quantities of the vehicles in weird places. One such location being this vacant lot in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which just so happened to be located near at least one highly ambitious vandal with enough free time on their hands to go and meticulously spray Elon on the front cover and side of something like 3 dozen Cybertrucks, which is obviously not a good thing to do, but at the same time, now that we're seeing it, shouldn't be particularly surprising that this happened. Those big, flat, unpainted surfaces of the Cybertruck are pretty much the equivalent of a blank concrete wall for any local wannabe Banksy. If anything, this might inspire some really cool Cybertruck art. My mind immediately goes to what might be possible if you commissioned an actual street artist to spray paint their work onto a blank Cybertruck canvas. That could be pretty cool, and it should be relatively easy to get the paint off. Cheap spray cans won't adhere to stainless steel, so a pressure washer might do the job, or a light application of turpentine. Anyway, this will definitely help to sell more Cybertruck wraps, that's for sure, and it'll be interesting to see how or if Tesla is able to mitigate these acts of vandalism in the future. One of Tesla's battery suppliers is set to begin production of their own 4680 cell this summer. LG Energy Solutions has a new production line set up at their Ochang factory in South Korea that will begin mass production of Tesla's 4680 cell format as early as August. The Ochang factory's estimated initial production capacity is 8 gigawatt hours of 4680 cells annually, which would be enough to supply up to around 110,000 electric vehicles. LG has said that these batteries will be provided to Tesla and other automakers as well. This new battery production line would be about equivalent to Tesla's existing cell manufacturing at Giga Texas, which was at around 7 gigawatts of annual output in Q1 2024. Now, it's not so clear what Tesla would be doing with these new 4680 cells from LG. Since they're not made in North America, they would conflict with any US tax credits for electric vehicles. There are no known Tesla models built in China that use the 4680 cell format, although there is a design of the Model Y that uses the 4680 and structural battery pack. It was sold for a very brief time in the US, but discontinued, likely for supply reasons. Priority moved to Cybertruck production, which is the only current vehicle running 4680 cells. One potential answer would be the new Cybercab. Since Tesla won't be selling them to consumers, it doesn't really matter about battery production and tax credits, or they could resurrect the structural pack Model Y for the international market. LG Energy Solution is expected to expand its 4680 production operations to North America at its new Arizona plant, which was initially expected to produce 2170 cells at an annual capacity of 27 gigawatt hours. However, the South Korean battery supplier announced late last year that the Arizona plant would become a key hub for 4680 production in North America.